All right, guys, so we just wrapped episode number 28 with the legend John Wayne Parr, and it was an amazing podcast. I'm just going to say that. And this is after the podcast, obviously. We're just going back and adding this in the beginning. And the reason we're having to do that is we made a huge mistake that we still don't know how happened. That makes sense?
Yeah.
How it happened?
Because we don't know how it happened.
Yeah. I'm just like sick over this.
We're pretty bummed out.
I'm sick over this. But anyway, we have great audio of John Wayne Parr, and the podcast went absolutely amazing. You're going to hear stories. You're going to hear things that you've never heard before. We talk so much about Thailand. You know,
yeah, dare I say, we get so many questions, in our comments, and they want to know life in Thailand, life of a fighter, the ups and downs of being in Thailand. And there's nobody better than John Wayne Parr.
He started the whole foreigners coming and living in Thailand. So we covered everything, and it's a great podcast. Unfortunately, I'm OCD and a perfectionist, and I like the fact that we were different than everybody else. There were a lot of other podcasts because we had video for everything. So we never had to rely on just audio, and we had our Skype-ins or all of our guests from abroad being video Skypes, and then obviously in studio. For whatever reason, we watched the entire Skype. It was recording the entire time. We did the entire podcast, and it went amazing. And then when we looked at the files afterwards, it was only audio. Yeah. And so, unfortunately, guys, I'm very, very sorry. It's clear. It's a great podcast. Most of you guys are listening on audio platforms anyway, so it's not going to make a difference at all. But I just want to apologize that it happened, and that you couldn't see a lot of John Wayne's expressions and things that he showed during the podcast. And he had a big bear with him, which there should be a bear popped up here.
There will be. Hey, we're in it though.
He said he was gonna. Yeah, he said he was gonna send a bear. The podcast will be the same as with us sitting here, but again, we're just gonna have a picture of John Wayne from the podcast. So it will be where he was sitting with this huge, gigantic bear, and he has some bear jokes at the end, which you have to stick around for. But again, I just want to apologize that things didn't go exactly as planned, and it just makes me sick that this happened, and we've looked at the program every which way, and with our AV guys and everything, and we can't figure out how it happened. We still don't know. So we're going to get to the bottom of that before we ever have any more Skype guests on to make sure this never happens again. But anyway, we're sorry. Please enjoy the show. Anyway, great podcast, great guests, and yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm just sick about it, dude.
That's all right, man. We didn't do this at the end of the last one.
Oh, so yeah, we forgot to do that too.
So yeah, we got it covered.
We were talking to John Wayne, but
you guys still will enjoy it. He literally some great stories, like he said. I mean, it's just listen.
Yeah. So anyway, we won't hold you any longer, guys. So enjoy the show, and I guess we begin. All right, John Wayne Parr, welcome to the podcast.
Mate, thank you. Sawadee Cup.
Sabari Mai.
Sawadee Cup.
Oh, that's
too much for us.
You got me. Man, you have been one of our most requested guests, especially since we obviously are in Thailand and have the gym and everything. So it's been great to book you and finally have you on the podcast.
Hey, this is such an honor. It's very cool. Thank you for letting me come on. It's really cool.
No, man, this is an honor for us. Trust me, you're a living legend, man, and it's just great to have you on here.
Stop it.
You'd never pay for a drink in Thailand. You know that already, huh?
Never pay for a drink?
You never would in Thailand. Everybody at the gym, when we said we were having you on, I mean, just through the roof. They were pumped. So I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, that's really cool. I've got a lot of friends that go over to Thailand. They come back. They go, everybody knows who you are. It's like, really, still. So yeah, it's such a crazy. It's so humbling to do all that work over there and still be recognized. So yeah, it's fun.
How can you say even still? You're like the most famous white living legend Thai fighter ever. They're still alive and fighting. And you're fighting still.
At the time, you're just going through the motions, and then you don't really think that you're going to leave a mark. And then when you go home, and then you just get feedback from people. Because I haven't been back for a little while, so it's still nice to and then every now and again, the Thais go, oh, my friends will come back and say, oh, I was talking to my trainer. He said he's one of your favourite fighters. It's like, what? A Thai likes a Westerner as their favourite fighter. It's so weird. But it's cool too. It's very cool.
You've definitely left a lot of marks, and you've had a lot of marks. I've seen your Instagram, and I think you had a picture at one point where you had like all the cuts shown or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I got
man.
that off a Canadian goalie. He was one of the like a superstar Canadian goalie. I forget his name, but he was around before they had helmets, and then he got a improvised if he had all these stitches at once. I really liked the idea. I thought, I wonder if I could do that with my face. So I talked to a couple of guys, and they were good with the photoshopping. So they implemented that with mine. And, yeah, it looks crazy. And that's only about half of the stitches that I've had in my face as well. You can't really justify, because so many stitches are side by side.
Yeah.
But but all up 330 stitches from the fighting with elbows, which is not cool.
And I'm sure so
That's
many
3 baseballs, by the way.
and I'm sure a lot of them were in the same place too, obviously.
And then I like to do a Mythbuster. Did you know chicks do not dig scars?
They don't.
After all these years, I thought I was going to be the hottest man in town. It's totally false.
So chicks don't dig scars. So we all got into it for the wrong reasons.
Maybe the lady boys, but not the real chicks.
The lady boys do.
Hey, I've had 6 stitches in my life, so 2 in my foot, 4 in
And
my
6
arm.
lady boys. So
I got shot with a gun in 2004, and I had 4 stitches in the exit wound. The entrance was nothing.
he's never fought, but before anybody thinks he's like a real street gangster over here, he got shot, and it was one of those random shootings where, like, you know, the gangs like shoot a random car just to make it in the gang. He happened to be the lucky guy in the back seat that got hit of a random car. So,
Wow, thanks, man.
well, I'm just saying, I don't want you getting too much street credit.
Worst
over
man of
50
my
Cent.
life, and it's a 7-7 for you.
He did get shot though, and that's
I'll tell you the story later.
Pretty courageous. He helped save some of his friends and stuff. So.
I saved life. We'll get into that another
He did
time.
good.
But
Anyway, I don't know if you know about this, but what we're doing is we're building up subscribers on YouTube, and just to kind of make it fun for the viewers, since he's never had a fight, street fight, professional, no, obviously not professional, but amateur, boxing fight, anything. He hasn't even trained. He's going to actually take a fight at one of these, you know, these small little stadium, like, you know, bar fights. You've been here before. He's going to take a Muay Thai fight for the first time in his life once we get to 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. So, yeah, he's going to go through a fight camp, and we're going to film it. We're going to kind of follow his progress, and in between cigarettes and sing songs, he's going to go out there and have an actual Muay Thai fight.
Is it possible to do your will and testament before you do the fight though, entirely?
well, I'm going to fight a lady boy so I can.
Yeah,
I think he's just going to hand me his wallet before.
Yeah, so I can punch a woman without all the guilt. You know?
yeah.
Is that wrong?
I guess.
But what happens if you lose?
Then nobody will see it. We're not going to air it.
I like how I like the optimism of him saying "if." That's nice.
Yeah, man, I
That's
thought
really nice.
I was going to offer to fly you down here and come corner me and train me, but you might
You're
have just
gonna
ruined
need
that.
him. You're gonna need him.
Oh fuck no! Not if you're gonna lose.
So
I'm not going to lose. I'll pay the guy off, or the girl off, whatever it is.
I've seen lady boys fight. They fight hard.
Yeah, Rose. I mean, shit.
Oh, there's a girl named a girl in
Yeah.
Lumpini right now who's fighting, and she's killing everybody.
Well, it's not a girl.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lady,
back
but
up.
not a full girl, but she's in that transition. But she's doing like really well. I mean, we were looking up some stuff on her not too long ago.
Yeah, we thought about having
Or him or her, whatever you want to call.
Well, back in my day, it was Nong Dum. Nong Dum was still popular when I was still living over there. So that goes way back to the mid '90s, and she was a superstar, and she was smashing everybody.
And that was a lady
So
boy.
it was really- yeah.
So they were lady
she still
boys fighting
had
back then.
She saved up. There's a movie on it called The Beautiful Boxer.
Oh,
So she
that's
she
a poster
saved up
you
all
have.
the prize money
stop.
to finally get the chop.
chop.
Yeah.
She saved
Yeah,
money from fighting to get the chop.
Yeah, it was crazy. When you see the movie, you'll she
I've
used to
heard of
hide
it.
in the toilets at the fight camp and put lipstick on, and then the boys knock on the toilet. Gotta go to the toilet. She quickly wipe lipstick off and try and look normal. But the
Oh,
whole
wow.
time she was like going in that transition. It was crazy. It's
Well-
it's a really good movie.
Well,
Wow.
but at your time, they wouldn't let her fight Lumpini, right?
She fought once, yes.
Oh, she did. Oh, okay. I thought Rose
Yeah,
was the first
yeah.
to fight Lumpini.
Maybe the
She
first
fought
champion
once.
or something, or first contender or something. I don't think she's a champion, but
But Nong Rose fights Roger Dern, so that's the same.
Yeah.
oh, that's
what it
right,
was.
Roger
That's
Dern,
what it was, yeah.
non Rose, yeah.
Sorry, we're so far away in Phuket, you know.
And they had the new Raj Modern as well. They changed stadiums. They built the new one, I think.
Yep.
I'm right about that, correct?
Well, speaking of Lumpini,
I don't know how long ago it was, but they did build a new one.
You're right.
I just don't know when it happened.
Well, because we have obviously the gym, and I'd say 40% are Australian, and that's probably a testament to you. And being an Australian, you were the first to actually fight in Lumpini, first Australian, correct?
First Australian, yes.
Dude, how cool is that to say, huh?
Yeah, it was mad. It was so cool. I think I had 6 fights. I won 6 fights straight, and then I was supposed to fight someone, and I didn't rock up on that day. And then Songchai at the way goes, "I'll tell you what, to make up for it, your next fight's going to be at Lumpini." It's like, "Whoa, no way, really?"
Wow.
So that was massive. And so about 2 or 3 weeks later, the fight happened. I ended up winning. The first 2 rounds, I had a hard time. The Thai was really tough. And then I got in trouble in the end of the second round by my Thai coach. He started screaming at me, "What are you doing? Go first, don't wait, be first, be aggressive." So round 3, I started picking up the pace, letting my hands go. And then he started getting that Thai roar. Once they started seeing that I was starting to win, the hey, hey, hey. And then I just got, the more I landed, the louder the cheer went. And then that inspired me to just push hard. Ended up stopping him in round 4. And then, so I won my first fight with Lumpini by knockout. And then I got offered another fight with Lumpini straight away. And then the funny thing was, it was my 21st birthday, a week before the fight. So, and then everyone thinks the 21st birthday, they're going to be with all the boys, they're going to get on the piss, they're going to get wasted, they're going to plan the biggest party ever. And here I was, stuck in a different country in a Thai camp, doing pads, stuck in 40-degree heat. After training, one of the girls bought a little cupcake with one candle on it. Happy birthday! And back in those days, we didn't have mobile phones or computers. There's no internet, there's no Facebook, and it was really expensive to make international calls. So I remember Mum ringing up on my 21st. "Happy birthday, son! Thanks, Mum. Thank you. You doing anything?" "Oh no, just finished training. I'm fighting next week." Because we couldn't ring very often because it was so expensive. And then so I remember if you win by knockout at Lumpini on TV, you get a gold chain as a bonus. So I told myself I'm going to win by knockout to give myself a 21st birthday present. And then I went out there crazy. And it's on YouTube. It's John Wayne versus Joe Louis. Ended up stopping him in the second round with hands. And then sure enough, I got the gold chain. So I gave myself the 21st birthday present. So yeah, it was really cool. It was a very cool moment.
Where is that chain right now?
I had to hock it about 2 or 3 months later.
True Thai story right there. That's a true life of an aspiring Muay Thai fighter right there.
Well, when you were living here, I heard you actually stayed at the camp. Like you actually lived the Thai lifestyle. You immersed yourself in the whole Thai culture, correct? I mean...
Yeah. So I have a Thai sponsor here that has a restaurant. And then I went to Sigitong in Pattaya for 3 months. And then Sang Tenoi, who was a superstar at the time, he came to Australia to fight. And then he met my sponsor, and then they started corresponding and talking. And then before they left, my sponsor Richard asked them if they could accept me into their camp. They go, "Oh no, we don't like Westerners. They're the bad guys. We don't want any. We've never accepted them." And he said, please, can you take him? He's a good kid. You can have him for nothing. You know what? I don't want any money. You can make up all the money off him."
Lovely.
So they said, "Oh sure, why not?" So they picked me up, and then we went to the camp. And then the same camp was a little bit embarrassed because it was very tight. So there was the old water in a hole in the floor for the toilet, no toilet paper. I had to sleep on a wooden floor next. And then so no furniture, there's no couches or beds or a TV, there was nothing. It was just training, sleep on the floor, wake up, training, sleep on the floor, wipe your bum with a hand.
Damn.
But it made you hungry. It made you tough. It made you hungry to win, hungry to succeed.
That's crazy, man. Like,
it's amazing.
When I first looked at your record, and then like a long time ago, and I looked down, and I saw that first fight, Lumpini. I was like, damn, that's a hell of a first fight. But so I was training back in Thailand. My first time in Thailand training was in 1999. I know you were before me, and you were obviously higher level, trying to be a Muay Thai fighter. I was more doing it for MMA. But I also trained in Pattaya in 1999, 2000 time frame. But I trained at a gym. I don't know if you know about this gym. It was called Sitfulek.
Oh, yeah, yep.
And it had Cheng Phuec Kiatson grit. He fought in the K2, K1 circuit.
Yes.
He was the big Thai.
Cheng Phuec, and then those had one lot, I believe.
Yeah. So I trained with it. It was at the Weekender Hotel, and it was outside of that road. And I trained there. That's where I started. Well, I started in Bangkok, then I moved to Pattaya with Cheng Phuec. Trained there for a little while, and then Pattaya was too much for me, man. I'll be honest with you. It was just party, crazy, noise all night long. It was just crazy for me. So I eventually found Phuket, and then that's kind of where I've stayed since then. But it was crazy back in those days, man. I mean, it was fights everywhere, the bar fights, and you had like the middle level rings. Then you had like the Tepaset Stadium was the stadium in Pattaya where we were trying to get fights at for like, you know, it was cool, man.
Yeah. There was no stadium there when I was there. There was only the bars, and there was nothing in Phuket back then, and there was no Samui. It was just Bangkok and then outskirts and little temple shows.
Wow.
Samui had to take off. It was still WMC camp had just started in Samui, and that was like the first like Westerner camp and down there. And then it just exploded. Now it seems like Phuket's the capital of Muay Thai for Westerners anyway. It's crazy. It's so good that so many people are going over there and immersing themselves in the sport and the culture.
Yeah, we also have we have like the most, I guess, biggest gyms, and then we have the influx of Muay Thai. I'm sorry, MMA being so big, it's starting to grow in Thailand and be a hotbed because of the economy for people in this part of the world to travel to Thailand versus traveling to the America or somewhere like that, and be able to train Muay Thai as well as MMA. And then CrossFit and the strength and conditioning programs. So right now, Phuket is just, like I didn't end up coming to Phuket till I think 2008, 2009 or something. And it was pretty, just starting out at that time. But right now it's the Mecca. I think in the entire world, there's no place in the world that more fighters and fitness enthusiasts travel to than this island. So that's why obviously we built the gym here, AKA Thailand, and then there's obviously other gyms as well. So it's just a mecca of just fighters, fitness enthusiasts, and foreigners. Like, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, for sure. So back in my day, everyone was Bangkok.
Yeah.
You wanted to be a star because they had the Muay Siam newspaper, the Muay Siam magazines. Everything was Lumpini and Rajamunda, and everyone was striving to make those stadiums. So, and if you made it big there, the rest of the world was paying attention. So I made a big name in Lumpini, and then without even noticing it, I became a big name in Japan. But every time I fought, they go to Japan, and then I had my first fight off over there in '98. And when I arrived, everyone knew who I was already. It's like, holy shit, what's going on? And I didn't know that all the magazines had been following me for the last couple of years. And then, it was really cool. And in Australia, Muay Thai was still sort of just coming up. It wasn't that big at all. And everyone knew me in Thailand, everyone knew me in Japan, but no one knew me in Australia, which was bizarre. So, but it's good now. Everyone sort of knows what I'm doing these days with the social media. But back in them days, it was, without the magazines or the opportunity to be on TV once or twice, it never happened. So, but yeah, it's crazy times. It's good that it's got to this level that it is now. It's amazing.
It's cool with social media, man, to get to know people. Like, I met you at Bellator. I forgot what number it was. Anastasia fought. I was there with Anastasia, and you fought as well. So that was the first time I actually met you. I was excited to meet you and talk to you, and you were super cool. But since then, I followed you on Instagram, and then I got to really see your personality. Like, it's cool with social media that you can actually see people's personality, how they live, and stuff like that. And you have quite the sense of humor, and we've chatted back and forth and stayed in contact, things like that. So it's really cool, man. And you seem to really have fun with it. And I love your posts.
Hey, yeah, people freak out. Being a professional fighter too, I have a lot of time on my hands as well, so I've got a lot of time to play and like comments, and people freak out. You like a comment, they go, "Holy shit, I can't believe you like my comment." So, well, you had the time to write a message. At least I can do is like it, and then people, that's that interaction. Like you said, watching everyone's lives through a little screen on their phone. It's so cool. I feel like I have so many friends that I've never met, but I feel like I know so many people. And this sport, once you have that same passion with everyone, it's easy to get on because it's so easy to just banter about stuff because you all have that same one goal, is to punch people in the face.
Yeah, do you remember the energy drinks?
Can you see that from there?
I don't know if you can see them. The little Red Bulls in the bottle and the lipovitamins and the M150s and the.
Yes.
Do you still drink those or miss those, or did you ever get into these energy drinks, man? Because I'm like addicted to these things now living here because they don't have these in America, and I think it's banned. So I think it's a bad reason. I think there's something
those are scary.
I think they're probably not safe, but
no.
I'm wondering how because I know Tepeset Stadium back in '99.
Okay,
there you go. Whoops, I didn't think about that. But when you were in Thailand, the old days, Yeah, I'm not sponsored by these guys. Don't worry, but yeah, it's probably not a good reason to that they're not anywhere but in Thailand. I guess that's safety, but
they're not legal everywhere else.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like drugs or something. I guess I gotta get rid of them.
That's why he's with Monster.
Yeah, so you're with a much better brand. But I want to hear just a couple stories from the old days, man, because like we have guys fighting at Bengal Stadium and the local stadiums, and we have guys sometimes fighting in maybe Lumpini or Rajbajan or whatever. But tell us something interesting about the old days. Like, what was the thing about the sand?
I do want to know the sand tradition on top of the forehead before they enter.
Oh yeah.
That you don't see that here, and also explain round 6 because I don't think these guys, the younger ones, know how good they have it here.
Yeah. The sand. So there's a little box at Lumpini. I don't know if it's there anymore, but it was a. See, before you get onto the ring, you kneel down before the stairs, and then you're asking permission from the earth, the wind, the fire, the water. I like to throw in for God as well.
Mm-hmm.
God, who can be any God that you wanted to be, but I took him in there as my fifth element. And then you just touch very lightly the sand, and then brush it into your hair, and that's to remind yourself that you're born from the earth, and you go back into the earth when you die, and it's to keep you humble. So no matter what happens, I'm just a body. So. Yeah, I don't. It's very deep and meaningful, but it's just that every time I fight, I've always done it ever since my sponsor explained it to me. And then they showed me the box, and then every time I do it, I touch my head. So it seems to work. It keeps me grounded.
That's crazy, man. Because like I had it all wrong because I went by what Van Damme did, and I thought or what Van Damme the movie did with Van Damme, and they threw it in the eye. So I thought maybe like I thought you should take a handful of that, put it in your pocket.
Wow!
And when the fight starts not going your way, you just throw a little bit in your opponent's eye, and then you win the fight.
That Chung Li.
So it's good to find out the true story, as there's actually cultural meaning behind it.
Chung Li lost that fight.
Chung Li, there you go.
Yeah.
I forgot what movie it was. I know Bloodsport and Kickboxer are my two favorites.
Best movie ever.
Yeah.
So okay, it's good to find out the truth.
Yeah, round 6. You're gonna like
round 6. Yeah.
Mike doesn't know about round 6 yet.
I've seen a little bit of it.
Yeah. If your trainer threatens you not to pick up the pace or get more aggressive or try and win the fight in the later rounds, round 6 is what happens back in the camp when no one's around and no one can hear you scream, and when the boxers, the trainers, they might give you a bit of a slap back in the gym. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't hit the trainer back because they'll stab you or they'll bottle you. Or sometimes if they have a gun, you can go missing very easily in Thailand for a very small amount of money.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because I think it's funny. It's a true story. It's very scary. So when you get round 6 thrown at you, and then I've tried same 10. A lot of boxers, they've told me about their experiences getting bashed in the taxis on the way home. And there's even a sign at Lumpini Stadium in Thai that I had one of the trainers explain to me. It says, "Please do not beat your boxers until you get home." It sets you a bad example in front of the Westerners. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, I've seen like trainers get mad. We've seen it.
Not
like full on beatings, but we've seen like even kids like get lashed pretty good by their coaches and stuff. And like and going back to what you said about how dangerous it is here, I didn't realize until I started building a big gym. It's a rough place to do business. It's not like America, especially when you're coming into a Muay Thai culture country, and you're trying to introduce MMA, a new sport, and then I put on a couple of shows as well. It wasn't an easy path. It wasn't an easy road. So luckily it's getting better, and they're getting more open-minded about it, and hopefully I don't get shanked and bottled or anything. But it's getting better.
Yeah, it's crazy. The Thailand. They're such a happy people and so smiley.
Land of smiles.
Once you poke the bear too many times, they're the most evilest people on the planet. And Yeah, they don't fight with their fists. It's all bottles, steel poles, guns, knives, and they fight to win. They don't care how big you are. Which, so a little story. My first year in Thailand was 1996. My first Songkran, I was still living in Paddy at that stage. A friend of mine, he'd just taken me out. I'd only been. I was going to the camp, coming back, coming back. I wasn't doing any nightlife. And then my friend just introduced me to going out a little bit. And then I had a fight on Songkran in a small outside car park. I erected a ring. I won my fight by 4th round knockout. And then I got given a little bit of money as a bonus as well. So I made, I think, $2,500 baht, about $70.
Whew, wow.
Yeah, it was big time. So, yeah. So the next night, I won my fight. It was Songkran. The next day, so we played Songkran all day. Played Songkran like late into the night, and then about maybe 1 or 2 in the morning, this big Polish German something guy, he splashed us. We splashed him back, and next minute he throws his bucket of water down. He storms up to me, chest all out, big guy, and then he asked me, if you whip me again, I'm going to kill you. I was like, what? And he goes, are you French? And I thought for a second, and I was a little bit drunk. I was like, oui. Which was probably the wrong answer if someone asked you if they're French. And then next minute he kicked me. It's like, oh shit, I guess we're fighting. So I started charging at him, and then I think I've done a kick, which is dumb. I don't get in a street fight, so I don't know really what to do. So I ended up falling over. And then as I was getting up, I felt this stonk on the back of my head. And then as I stood up, just blood's all coming down my face. And the whole, one of those outside streets where the whole street was like, whoa, just left me right in the middle. And then my friend got some glasses, and he's throwing these glasses at these guys to get them away from me. And then he comes up and he grabs me. He goes, you okay? I said, I think he had a ring on. He must have cut me with his ring. He goes, no, you just got hit over there with a bar stool. I said, holy shit. And then, so he went a bit weak at the knees. We take to the hospital. I get 14 stitches in the back of my head. So the next night we go out, and then we see this Thai. Sorry.
Oh.
Oops, sorry. So we see this Thai guy, and he goes, what happened to your head? I got hit over the head with a bar stool, got stitches, blah, blah, blah. He goes, if you get him arrested, you can get money off him. It's like, no way, really? So we go put a police report in, and then they said, if you can find the guy, we'll go and get him. So we went back to the same bar. We hit me over the head with the bar stool, and sure enough, he was there. We go tell the police. They come and arrest him, and then they say, okay, now that we've got him, how much do you want? I said, oh, well, the stitches cost me 5,000 baht. I really want my money back because I don't have much money at this stage. And they're going, the police are going, no. What we're going to do, we're going to keep him overnight and teach him a lesson. Sure. So as we're leaving, one of the police grabs me by the shoulder. He says, tomorrow when you come back, ask for 10,000 baht. I said, really? Okay, sure. So we go home. We come back the next morning, and then the Thais are laughing. They said, he's in the cell. He's crying. He said he'll pay anything.
Oh.
They said, but he doesn't have any money. He has to get some money wired from Poland back into his account because he's got no money right now. I said, okay, come back this afternoon. So as I'm walking out the door, the Thai grabs me. He said, when you come back, ask for 20,000 baht. Said, okay, yeah, sure. So then we come back in the afternoon, and then now he said, we've got him. We've made him so afraid right now. We told him if he doesn't pay by this afternoon, we're going to take him to Bangkok prison. He's going to be stuck there for months. So I think you should ask for 28,000 baht. Sounds good to me. So sure enough, 28,000. Yep, done. He gets the wide money wide, and then so they let him out of the cell. They fill out the paperwork. They say, all right, off you go, get out of here. Make sure you don't cause any more trouble while you're here. And they just let me wait. And then after he goes, one of the Thai policemen, he touched me on the shoulder. He goes, follow me. So I follow him down this toilet, down into the toilets. We close the cubicle. He goes, okay, out of that 28,000, you owe me 8,000 baht because today was my day off. I did this for you, so you owe me 8,000. I said, mate, whatever you need, I'm happy to pay. So that's how the Thailand works. If you're very nice, they'll take care of you. But you have to pay your way to make sure things go your way. Otherwise, bad stuff can happen.
I've been to jail here twice. I know.
Yeah,
I had to do some negotiating on his behalf.
Yeah, the first was 80,000 though. It wasn't no 8,000.
The economies went up a little.
Yeah. Inflation.
So people ask me all the time. They're like, "So how are the Thais?" Because they're either afraid or they've heard that they're so nice or whatever. So they ask when they come to the camp. They're like, "How are the Thais? I want to go to Bangla and have fun. What do I do? I'm scared. I haven't been in this country before." And I tell them all the same thing. I'm like, the Thais are the friendliest people you'll ever meet. Like they're so happy. They're smiling. They'll do whatever you want. Just don't don't disrespect them. Don't treat them bad, because if you do, it's going to be a nightmare. And like some of the worst fights I've seen on Bangla has been like mostly foreigners and ladyboys. Like I'm not kidding you, but it'll be like some foreigner trying to pick up a ladyboy and not know that it's a ladyboy. Then he finds out and he gets mad and then he punches her or whatever. And then all of a sudden there's like 3 or 4 ladyboys and they're just beating the crap out of this guy.
10-on-1, easy.
Yeah, it's just like some savage fights I've seen down there in Bangla. But it's like, as long as you're fair and nice, you're going to get treated so good. But you have to respect it's their country and you're a visitor. So if you disrespect them or you're not nice to them, obviously it's a rough place to be mean to somebody, because there's a whole lot of Thais in Thailand. There's a lot more.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. They usually one Thai in trouble, and everybody jumps in to help the Thais.
Yep.
Because they all sleep together. Same with the motorbike taxi guys. Yep. They're ruthless as well. And like you said, always be polite. Don't talk down to them like they're from a poorer country and you're more superior just because you have a little money.
Yep.
It doesn't hurt to say please and thank you.
No.
It's just basic.
Just don't be an asshole, basically.
Don't be an asshole, Thais are amazing. Thais are so cool. If you ask them for directions, they'll stop what they're doing and they'll take you there. They won't point out the directions, they'll actually take you there.
Yeah.
It's so full of fun. I love my time over there. I did 4 years pretty much straight, and then I spent another nearly a year on and off, just 3 months here, 2 months there. But I was very lucky that there was no Westerners where I lived, so I had to learn the language really fast because I had to survive. And then the Thais would help me. They'd teach me sentences. Oh well, it started off. I started asking questions. I pick up a cup. What's this? I pick up a hat. What's this? I pick up a pair of shoes. What's these? And then every day I try and learn 5 words. And then the next day, all right, another 5 words. Next day, another 5 words. And then the Thais would give me sentences that say that put me on little jobs. All right, you need to go to the shop and you want to say, I want 1 bag of ice. So I remember that in my head. All right, I got that, and then I could change. I want 1 bag of ice. So I want one plate of rice. Or I want 1 drink. And okay, I got that sentence. And then before I knew it, I could sing Thai karaoke. I could watch the Thai soap operas on TV. I could go to the Thai movies, watch the movies. It was amazing. And then I used to play games with the Thais too. I pretend I was Western at the start, and then I could hear them talking to each other, trying to rip me off. And then I start busting out my Thai language, and they go, oh, and all of a sudden they get really polite, and then they change all their tune, and then they give me Thai prices. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun being a Westerner and being special because you were that guy that everyone would stop, and the little kids would grab their parents by the sleeve, and then they'd point at me. And then once I started speaking to them, they'd freak out, and then it's like, oh, wow, you're really cool. So, and then once I was fighting as well, I'd run down the street in my Thai shorts, and then, Thais like that, they'd flash their lights at me, they'd beat me up, and they'd give me a big wave. And then sometimes I get in trouble, I have to fight. John Wayne, last night I put money on you, you lose, why you lose? It's like,
yeah, that never happens
really
to me.
Good, around our neighborhood, because I was the only one, it was so easy for everyone to remember me. So, I was very fortunate to be that guy that really set the thing, the living in Thailand. No one was doing it before I did went there. People would fly in for 2 weeks, a couple of months, and then go home. I was the first guy to live there for really 4 years, which made it really easy for Songchai to use me on his promotion because I didn't have to fly me in, I was already there. So, every month I'd be on a fight show somewhere. It was just so convenient for them. And even my trainers would go, "You don't know how special you are. No one's doing what you're doing. You're the first person ever to live in a Thai camp and become one of us." So I'm very happy that I could sort of be a role model for what's happening now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man.
When's the last time you were back here?
2010. I went back and trained with Sanchai for 4 weeks at 13 coins. I was getting ready to fight Yotsenglai for the third time. So,
and you beat Yotsenglai.
Yeah.
That's an amazing win. You beat Yotsenglai, and not only you beat Yotsenglai, which is Fairtex's main guy.
We've been giving this guy shit all week, by the way.
But you also beat our star trainer, Lamsam. So Lamsam Kram obviously is one of the most renowned trainers in Thailand, and he's the one that George St. Pierre actually flew to Canada 3 times to train for his last 3 fights, except for the Bisping fight. Yeah. And I locked him down at AKA Thailand, and he was one of the main people I was trying to get for the camp. And so once we found out that you fought him and actually beat him by decision, man, we've been giving him hell over that. He hates it. He hates it.
Now this is
jokingly, you know Lamsam Kram. He loves you.
Yeah. He is a fan of yours and all that. He says y'all are friends, but he did want me to ask you. Well, A, he wants you to come see us, just so you know.
For sure.
And B, he says that you cheated because you need him in the nuts 3 times.
He goes, boss, you need me in the nuts too much.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we said, man. We're like, come on, man. So,
man, to win a decision in Thailand over a Thai like Lamsam Kram, and at the back then too, that's a big win. And Yotsenglai, man.
We fought in Australia.
Yeah, that was in Australia, that fight.
But I'm just either way,
just to beat a Thai period, by a decision is so amazing.
Back then though, when he was like active and fighting like he was, I mean, he's such a huge name, and then like Yotsenglai as well. And like this, man, you've beat some really big.
Yeah, can you touch on that fight just so we can show him this?
Yeah, so the left side bound fight, I knocked him down 3 times. I think round 1, round 3, round 5.
He left that part.
The third,
he didn't mention that.
The third knockdown, I think we're in the clinch, and the referee. I don't know. As the referee was about to say break, I hit him with an elbow. At the same time, it was one of those ones. As I loaded up, the referee's going break. I was already in motion, so it was one of those ones like shit.
Well, if you're in motion, I think it's fine.
It wasn't intentional. It was just timing. I didn't mean to elbow him, but it was just halfway through the breaks of the call. But it was a good fight. He's tough, and he switch hits. He's southpaw orthodox. He's really long. I was really worried about that fight because I'd seen him dismantle so many Westerners. But it was just my night. I trained really hard, so I was happy to score the knockdowns to help secure the win.
So you knocked him.
Hurt him. So yeah, I just concentrated on trying to punch as hard as I could. And, I was lucky to get him on the chin a couple of times.
So you knocked him down 3 times.
So since then, we caught up again in China, and he's that guy that as soon as he sees me, he opens his arms. Come and give me a hug. It's like, oh shit, how you been?
He's
and
awesome.
Then we caught up again in Montreal. We was training George in Montreal at the time. Same deal again. Come and give me a hug again. And then where else did we catch up? We caught up somewhere else. And then same deal again. He's like the most nicest, coolest ex-opponent that I've ever had. He was even on my documentary.
Yeah, we saw him.
A documentary called Blistered Venum. It's like he talked up. He didn't have to say the things that he did. But he was so polite, and he really made me sound like I'm better than I am. He made it sound like, oh yeah, if you don't train hard with John Wayne, he's not a guy you can just go into the ring 50% with. If you're not 100%, he'll take you out. And I didn't take it serious, and sure enough, he got me. But yeah, he spoke so politely and so amazing. I got nothing but respect for him. And then we still chat. So yeah, if you see him for it, please give him a high five for me.
I'll see him in 2 hours.
And we'll also mention that 3 knockdowns.
Yeah, he
forgot to tell us about. I didn't even know the fight was in Australia. I thought maybe it was here or something. So I didn't even know that. And then what was I about to say? Oh, you just got cut off on your Skype. The Wi-Fi went bad. But for the documentary, for people that want to watch that documentary, it's Blessed by Venum, right?
Blessed with Venum.
Blessed with Venum. Yeah, we watched it. Just watched it again last night.
Yeah, we watched it last night. Yeah,
but Blessed with Venum, a great documentary, man, and it talks a little bit about the history in the beginning, and then obviously goes into you and your story and everything. So anyone that wants to watch it at home, check out YouTube. Blessed with Venum, John Wayne Parr, great documentary.
Very lucky, very very cool.
I was gonna say to jump on that. Obviously, I believe it ended in the documentary came out in probably 2011, 12.
Yeah.
So for those who watch that documentary and don't know what's going on since then, I mean, you've opened up a gym. And
I opened up the gym in the '99 in Australia.
Okay, yeah. But then you now you have the
you have a fight promotion too. Can you talk about that?
Oh, my fight promotion, yes. It's called CMT. It's called Cage Muay Thai.
Yeah.
So it's 2012. I was gonna try MMA. I'd been doing Muay Thai forever. I'm a big UFC fan. I thought I want to give it a go. This is the future. This is where it's at. I thought I'll try jiu-jitsu, and then pretty much my very first jiu-jitsu class, I broke my finger in half. I was in someone's guard. I tried to pass, caught somehow rolled. I rolled on top of my hand, and my index finger went 90 degrees backwards. And then so after a couple of days laying in bed, still just fume, thinking I've had 100 and something fights, never had a problem. I do one jiu-jitsu class and I break my finger. Fuck jiu-jitsu. So, but I still want to fight in the cage. It's like, how can I fight in the cage and not learn jiu-jitsu? It's like, well, we do little Muay Thai shows already, and we just hire a ring. So maybe if instead of hiring a ring, I'll hire a cage instead. And then I looked up on the YouTube next day to see if anyone was doing it. And then there was a few guys that were doing K1 rules in the cage, but they were wearing traditional boxing gloves. I thought, I want to try the little gloves. So why don't I do the Muay Thai rules in the cage with MMA gloves, just so I can feel what the MMA guys feel. So
it's fun, huh?
Went into the first show completely no idea what was going to happen. I was really scared that someone on the card might die, just because there's roulette for a whole 3 rounds or 5 rounds. You're getting punishment. There's no time for a break or getting taken down or held against the cage. It's just non-stop action. So the first show went off without a hitch. I think there was 9 fights, 7 knockouts, and it was just brutal. I remember watching the first half of the card before I was getting ready, just sitting there going, "This is amazing. This is so crazy.
Yeah.
This is the most action." You could feel the atmosphere in the room. Just the guys even on the undercard that weren't at the highest level, but because they had the little gloves on, they were trying to hurt each other so bad that you couldn't help but feel the adrenaline, and it was amazing. So had the first show, it was crazy, and then the second show I retired. I thought, okay, I've done everything in the sport. I'm going to have a break now. My wife's still competing, so she fought in the cage. I flew out Ponce. Ponce was the main event versus an Australian boy called Michael Tomahawk Thompson. And then, the Aussie boy beat Ponce because of the little gloves. Ponce wasn't used to the so many hands before. It went to the decision. He got dropped twice by uppercuts. So that was crazy for an Aussie to beat Ponce. Was just because of the environment being in the cage with the gloves. It was in a ring with more gloves. The Aussie probably would have died, but because it was a different environment, the Aussie come out on top. And then Sancho was in the crowd also.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh man, imagine if we get Sancho. And Sancho, what do you think? He's going, no.
I love that guy, man.
Too dangerous. Because, now he can't just survive with his kicks. Now, when the hands come into play, he would have been a bit dangerous if someone had landed on his chin. But now he's doing Thai fight with the ropes.
Yeah.
So, but that was before then. So far we've done 10 shows. And then, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the best part is now 1FC's taking my promotion and run with the same idea with the cage and the little gloves. So hopefully they're going to blow it up and make it really big worldwide. Because they have the star power and already got the entities with their Facebook. They've got 7.5 million people on their Facebook page. So if they can make it big, that's got to complement what I'm doing here in Australia, hopefully. So hopefully we can all grow together and make it a popular sport. So
absolutely. So how can people find out more about your promotion? Can you share the links or the website and everything that people can look at to get more information?
Yeah, there's a few fights on YouTube. I haven't got any promotions planned at the moment. Hopefully with Bellator, they're going to keep me busy with a few more fights. With them, I'm guaranteed money without the headache of being a promoter. So I'd rather just fight if I can help it. So in between fights, I'll definitely do another CMT plan. But why I can just train, fight, and not have to worry about the stress of holding a promotion, because I'm the promoter and the main event.
Right.
Which is really hard.
So people can just follow your Instagram, and then you'll have all your updates on there. And I want to say, looking at your Instagram the other day, I want to congratulate you. You just made a post that you got another contract with Bellator. So you're obviously not retired. You got 4 more fights with Bellator, and you are looking for that 100th win, correct?
Yes. So that was supposed to be my last fight. My last fight was supposed to be my 100th win in Budapest in April. And then it was a 3-round fight. I won the first 2 rounds quite easily. The third round was really tough because he must have known he was losing, so he's coming out all guns blazing. I probably might have just lost the third, but I thought I won the first 2 rounds easy. And then we were going to do a thing called a clubby. So there's an Australian, Daniel Ricciardo, he's a Formula 1 driver. He does a shoey, where he pours champagne in his shoe and drinks out of the shoe. I was going to get my boxing glove and fill that full of Monster. I was going to drink Monster out of my glove. So as soon as the fight was over, I took my glove off. We got it all ready to pour the Monster in. We had shirts made with 100 wins printed on top of them. So as soon as I won, I was going to put the new shirt on. And then I was waiting for the decision. And they read out the scorecards. The first judge gave it 30-27. And I was thinking to myself, I don't think I won every round. The next 2 judges have given it 29-28. That's better. I think I won the last. That's perfect. And your winner is, and I was ready to jump up. And then, they wanted the other guy. I was like, what? And then with Bellator, it was showing about 2 or 3 hours later in America. And then my inbox got crazy with people going, how the hell did you lose? I thought you won for sure. It's like, so did I. I thought I won also. So I can't help feel a little bit sort of robbed. But
we know it's coming, though, man. We know it's coming.
The scorecards, you can't blame anyone else. So it would have been nice to get the 100 win back then because I was mentally prepared for it. And I talked it up too. So a little bit embarrassing when you talk it up and it doesn't happen. But hopefully next time. Yeah,
now you got 4 more fights with Bellator. So we're definitely going to see it and maybe be there, depending on what show it is. So that's awesome, man. It's going to be exciting to see that 100th win.
Yeah.
When are you looking to? You said later in the year you're looking to come back for your next fight?
I hope so. I hope the sooner the better. I'm ready now. So we just wait and see what they throw at me. So there's a big show 14th of July in Rome, in Italy. So hopefully, if someone pulls out, they can put me on the card. And if not, I'm only a phone call away. So I'm ready 24/7.
So I think you've had like just under 140 fights, correct? Something like that, around?
132.
132 total fights. So obviously the Thais here, they've had a lot of fights. They fight almost every week. How often did you fight being a foreigner when you were here fighting to accumulate that many fights? How often were you fighting when you were fighting at your most? Like for the years that you fought the most amount of times? Like once every how long?
So 1997, that was my best year. That was the year I picked up by Songchai. I had 9 fights in 12 months, and then I had seven wins. And then that year, Muay Thai magazine, they voted me the strongest Westerner in Thailand for 1997.
Wow.
So that was a pretty cool moment.
How old were you then?
That was
20?
That was my
19?
first year fighting at Lumpini. I won 2 out of my 3 fights at Lumpini. I was ranked number 4 at 147 pounds at Lumpini. I fought my first King's birthday at Sanam Noor. Being the first Aussie to be at Lumpini. I was the first Westerner ever to make the front cover of Muay Thai magazine.
Yeah, wow.
I was on TV. I think 5 of my fights were televised live on Thai TV as well.
Nice.
So I had a really, really cool VHS. Because back then, like I said, there was no social media.
Yeah.
So I had this VHS tape that when I got back to Australia, I got to play for my dad. He made a couple of copies, and then it was just pretty much going around to my friends. Hey, this is what I've been doing for the last year. Because no one knew what. Back then, I just disappeared. I just disappeared from the face of the earth. Come back 12 months later. I've been in Thailand. I've been fighting. And nowadays, if someone had done what I'd done, that'd be a mega star. But because it was all sort of word of mouth. And back then, I was still Wayne Parr. I wasn't John Wayne yet. It wasn't until I got to Thailand that I decided they wanted to call me John Wayne.
Yeah.
So, So yeah, when I got back to Australia, everyone was giving me shit. I can't believe you changed your name to John Wayne. How lame is that? So, no, it sucks. But that's what they call me, so I've got to roll with it. And then the worst thing was I went and got famous with that name too. So I said, now I'm stuck with this stupid name. But now I just introduced myself as John. Everyone calls me John, so it's just normal. So,
yeah, it's
yeah,
definitely.
You didn't have a nickname for yourself before John stuck?
I was gonna be the Punisher. My first fight name was the Wonder Kick. Wayne Wonder Kick Parr. And I thought that was the greatest name. That's when I was a young teenager. And then I was gonna be the Punisher, Wayne Punisher. And then when I got to Thailand, the Thai was like, "Oh, we've got to call you something. Everyone has a fight name. What's your history?" I said, I grew up on farms. My parents are horse trainers. I've been around farm. Oh, so you're like a cowboy? I guess so, yeah. You could say I'm a cowboy. So you're like John Wayne. All right, from now on you're going to be John Wayne. So, sure. Yeah.
Was that you're your coach,
the
right?
The worst part is Wayne means bastard in Thai.
Oh wow.
So no one called me Wayne. Everyone called me John Well. John Well. So yeah, it was crazy.
Thanks for the tip.
Actually, a couple questions. A couple questions. When you first came to Thailand, did you ever fight in the bar fights, like just for the fun of it? Like obviously in Thailand, there's all these little bar fights, and when the foreigners first come over, you can get into the ring and book a fight and fight kind of with older Thais that are kind of not as in their prime anymore. Did you ever do that when you first came over?
Yes, there's one called Marine Bar in Pattaya.
Oh, that's
that was a big one there. So I think a couple of nights beforehand, there was a big song show promotion in Pattaya with Sam Tenoi fought Danny Bill, Stan the Man Longinides fought Kirk Walker. It was Thais versus Westerners stuff. And the ring was set up on the beach. It was amazing.
nice.
So the next night, everyone went to party, and then Danny Bill was in my corner. He helped us out, and it was really cool. And then everyone got on the drink afterwards, and then just hang out with Danny Bill and all these superstars, and Stan the Man, and Stepan Nakima, and all these. It was just mad. It was so cool. So yeah, back when it was real Muay Thai, the golden era.
And I'm skipping around. I know I've got so many things I want to ask you and talk to you about, but I want to try to not take up too much of your time. But when you first came to Thailand from Australia and you joined the camp there, what were your thoughts on the way they were training back then? Because I remember how prehistoric and like crazy it was when I came, and that was in like 99, 2000. And then like when you came was before that. So like when you first saw the kids training and fighting at such a young age, and just the equipment and how they train, their mindset and all that, how was that? The living conditions. I remember going in the bathroom there and they didn't have toilet paper. They had like just water.
That's what he said. He had
like a bucket of water. Yeah. So it's just like, how was it when you first went there, like, and you saw that whole thing and you experienced it? What was that like for you coming from Australia?
Well, my Thai sponsor, he was had the restaurant, and he was my first sponsor. So he would let me come down to his restaurant once a week to come and have a free meal.
Nice.
And then I lived about 15 minutes walking distance. So once a week turned into pretty much every day. And then we just had this relationship where he became almost like my second father. So I'd go and sit in the kitchen while he was preparing the chicken skewers and chopping up the vegetables. And we'd just talk about this crazy country where this Thai boxing was like a national sport, and how people would live on the floor, and it's just hard. I remember having a really hard fight in Australia, and I got dropped in the second round with the leg kicks, and then I ended up coming back in the fifth round, knocking the guy out before 30 seconds to go. And the next day, I won a belt, and I took my belt down to the restaurant to celebrate. And then Richard, he pulled me into the kitchen. He's like, "Last night was a super tough fight. You showed a lot of heart last night. What about, do you want to go to Thailand? But it's going to be tough. If you go, it's not going to be easy." "Oh, I'd love to go to Thailand." "Yeah, I'll tell you what I do. If you can promise me you can stay 6 months, I'll do everything. All you have to do is organise your passport, and I'll pay for a camp. I'll find you a camp. I'll pay for your plane ticket. I'll put money into your account if you need money. But you have to promise me 6 months. If you come back early, we're done. I don't want to know you." So I'm going to do it. "No worries. It's going to be tough." I said, "Mate, I promise I won't come back. I'll stick it out." So I went and organised my passport, When my passport arrived, I took me down to the restaurant. Hey, Richard, my passport arrived. So he grabbed me by the hand, and we walked down the street, halfway down the street to where the travel agent was. We went and sat down and said, I want a 6-month open ticket for this young man. And sure enough, he bought the ticket right then and there for me and said, all right, don't come back. So I left a few days later, and then, and then sure enough, the first 3 months wasn't too bad. I shared a double bed with a Thai Tung, Richard's brother at the time, and he had a sit-down toilet. And I did that for the first 3 months, and that was okay. And then when Sang Tan picked me up to take me to the Bangkok camp, that's when life got crazy. But I was mentally prepared for the worst of the worst. And then after a week or so, it just became normal life. Just wiping my hand on my bum was just normal. Sleeping on the floor was normal. Sometimes we'd have to sleep on the tiles during the daytime because upstairs was too hot because of the heat.
Jeez.
And then, like you said about the training too. So when I first got there, it was 5-minute rounds. So you know how you do the 10-10s at the start.
Yeah.
So we had 10-10s at the start, 10-10s in the middle, 10-10s the last 30 seconds, and then every kick in between was a double. We weren't allowed to throw single kicks. Everyone had to be double kick, double kick, double knee, double knee, double kick, double kick. All right, time for 10s. So you do 5-minute rounds in 40-degree heat with all those kicks in the center, and then you play in the bag for maybe 20, 25 5-minute rounds, and then you do the half-an-hour clinching, and then we do a half-an-hour run after training. Sometimes we were training 7 days a week, which sucked. There's nothing worse than having to get the Sunday, you have to train through all Sunday, and then Monday comes. You know, that was during the time that I was going to have off, and then it's just so painful. Your body hurts so bad. But then after I fought, I was allowed to have 7 days off. So I jump in the bus from Bangkok and I go to Pattaya. I visit the guys that I was living with for a little bit. I go and be a Westerner. I go and speak English for 7 days and have a hamburger. Get ridiculously drunk, and then jump back on the bus, go to Bangkok. And then I'd be a Thai again. I speak Thai, live on the floor, wipe my hand on the bum. And that could be from anywhere from a month to 2 months, 3 months until I have my next fight. And then I go be a Westerner again for 7 days. So that was my only way to keep it sane, was to get out of Bangkok and speak English. So, but yeah, it was cool. It was an adventure. Everything was an adventure for sure. Probably the best time of my life, just being that guy. It was cool.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier about Thai karaoke, and you gave me the look like that. So what was your affiliation with Thai karaoke and you learning Thai karaoke? Explain that story a little bit.
So we used to have these, like all the Thais used to bop and weave and dance to these songs, and I had a really cool beat. So I could just start understanding the Thai language. I could understand probably every third or fourth word. So I went and bought this CD called Loso. So I had a tape deck, and I wanted to learn the words so bad. So I get in my room with a pad and pen, and I do play, pause. I get a couple sentences. I stop it. I write it down in English. Luck, R-U-C-K, T-E-R, and then I write the whole song in English, and then I play it over and over again until I memorise it all in Thai. I don't understand half of it at the same time. And then
you could sing it.
I got to the stage I knew the whole album. I could sing the whole album.
Oh wow!
And then we'd go to the karaoke bars, and there'd be all Thais there. And then I think it was 20 baht or something to sing. I put down 20 baht, and everyone would stop. It's like, oh, no, what's he going to do? And then the Thai music would start, and then all the girls would go into the dance floor, and I'd start busting out these Thai songs, and everyone would start jamming. And then I was like this singing superstar, and it was crazy, singing this different language. And then the band would go, "Psst, do you know any more songs?" So, mate, I know the hello. So I'd sing for about 5 or 6 songs in a row, and then sure enough, they grab their boyfriends and the girlfriends, and then the dance floor would be full, and here I am jamming out with a live band behind me too. It was like the greatest thing ever. And I always had this thing, when I retire, I want to be a Thai singer. But that dream's over now. But when I was there, that was my whole hopes and dreams.
You wanted to be a Thai singer.
Thai boxing thing, and after that, I'm going to be a Thai singer.
So I was just about to ask you. Cool. I ask a lot of the fighters the same question. I was going to ask you eventually, but I'll ask you now since you just said it. after your dreams got crushed of being a Thai karaoke singer post-fighting, now you've had all the success and you became so much bigger as a Thai fighter, and you're fighting in Bellator. Obviously, another 4 fights. What is your ideal end game for after fighting? Like, say once fighting's over, 100% you're retired and you're done. What does John Wayne Parr want to do for the rest of his life that's going to make you happy?
That's a golden question.
Tough question, huh?
I'm 42 in 2 weeks. So 42 years old, still fighting, still loving it, still have that passion, still have hopes and dreams of winning more titles and being more famous. I still don't think I'm there yet. I want my legacy to be cemented. I don't want to be okay. I want to be the best. I know Thai boxing doesn't have that much money in it. I'm never going to be a Conor McGregor. But I know when I pass, I want to have the legacy of Raymond Deckers. I want to be that guy that achieved greatness in a sport that not many people can achieve sport greatness in. So after I retire, I don't know. It's going to be really sad. I'm going to be very lost. Part of me's going to die when I retire. I'm so happy that Bellator's re-signed me, because that gives me a few years to keep this dream alive. For a couple of weeks, I got quite depressed because I didn't have the contract, and then there was that unknown. I've got my gym here in Australia, which is really good, and we do little promotions, but it's not that fight money. I miss that. That fight money is going to be hard to recuperate. Get those big lump sums. So I don't want to live off. I have to live off it. I don't want to, but I'm going to have to just live off my PTs and get my body smashing every day by holding pads for massive people. But that's all I know. I've only known Thai boxing ever since I left school, and I'm not the most educated kid. I went to 11 different schools growing up.
Wow.
I'm okay with. I'm not a dummy, but at the same time, I'm not really a businessman either. So it's very sad.
I feel like any smart person. I mean, the world's becoming such a tech world, an online world. You're so good with social media. I feel like any smart business guy that has this kind of somewhat interest in what you do is going to grab you up, and you're a gold mine for possibly like online, something online, be it training and lessons. And obviously you can write books for days. And I mean, and you go on about wanting to be, have this bigger legacy and being a bigger champion and being all these things, but you've done a lot of that, man. So it's like, obviously you're going to increase each fight you win, but you've done so much already, man. I mean, if you never fought again, you're a living legend, and you will always be remembered. You've already cemented your legacy in the sport of Muay Thai that no one's going to be able to really match, I don't think, in our generation. But I think any smart businessman is going to grab you up, man, and offer you a bunch of things. I really do, because I mean, no one's done what you've done, and that's what people want in this world is those unique people that can share the kind of stuff that you can and have those kind of experiences. So I hope the best for that, man, for sure. I want you to enjoy the rest of your life.
It's very scary. I like fighting. I like walking in front of the crowds. I like feeling the adrenaline. I like laying in my bed before the fight, and that 10-week lead up, just wondering, am I going to be successful? Am I going to win this fight? Am I going to get hurt? And the game planning leading up to it, the feeling fitter, the smashing the pads, the sparring, and then that feeling of accomplishment, getting your hand raised and winning by knockout. Nothing beats that feeling of winning by KO. So definitely something that's going to be missing when that goes. I've jumped out of planes and I've done bungee jumping, and it's going to be hard to try and feel like void. And trying to think of ways to make money. I need to make money on making memes so I can make people laugh.
Yeah, you're doing good at that.
Memes and Photoshop. I reckon I'll be a multi-millionaire.
There you go. And just so we can get it clear, because, man, I was looking at your, I mean, you have so many titles and runner-ups and champions, and we were trying to count all these titles that you have. How many world titles total do you have? I mean, I posted that picture on, we posted a picture on the Real Quick podcast, but, I mean, all these belts everywhere. How many world titles do you actually have?
10.
10 so total. Okay.
10 different sanctioning body titles. So not one title that I've defended 10 times. 10 different sanctioning bodies.
Different, yeah. So that's even
WMC, WKBF, WBF, So
That's like all of them.
I know a couple of different
It's
guys
like everyone you
that
could have.
win one title. They defended a few times, and they call them different. But mine are all different sanction. Every single one's a different sanction. So I'm very lucky. And then the ones that I've defended, I don't call them new world titles. It's just one of the.
That was the confusion, and I assumed you probably won smaller shows coming up as well.
So yeah, it's been cool. It's been fun. And then did you notice I did the post the other day with the jacket, the Sir Samat from the King's birthday.
No, I didn't see that.
That was really cool. So 2001, the King's birthday, 100,000 people in a park in Bangkok.
December 5th, right?
Yeah, December 5th. So this was my third. I won 99, 2000, and then I was fighting 2001. And then at the weigh-in, I said to Songtron, the promoter, I said, hey, if I win my fight tomorrow, this is going to be my third King's birthday in a row. He's like, really? Hang on a second. He whistles to one of his workers. He said, prepare Sir Samat for John Wayne for tomorrow, which means it's like a jacket of honor. It's like, whoa, no way. And then, so I've come out to the ring, I've done my Ramoy, and then just before the referee brings us in to tell us the rules, the generals come up onto the ring, and they've got this jacket on, this gold thing. And then, they call me over, they present this jacket to me live on Thai TV in front of 100,000 people. Jeez. And then I got this Thai opponent just staring me down with daggers. He wants to smash my face in. And then the Thai crowd's cheering. I'm getting this round of applause for getting this jacket, which I don't think any other Westerners ever won. It hangs up in my gym now. It's better than, it's without, how do I say it? It's better than a world title. Just getting that recognition from the Thais as something that no one's ever got, I guess, because I think the way Songchai sort of explained it, for dedicating your life to the sport and to the Thai culture, it's a representation of everything that you've achieved. So yeah, it's cool to check it out. It's really cool. So I won 2 world titles in Bangkok. I got this jacket, and I got all those firsts for Australia and for Westerners over there as well. So accomplishment wise, it's cool, but you can't live off that. You can't bank on it later. It would be nice if Muay Thai had Conor McGregor money. It'd be nice to drive around a new sports car every week and everything else, but at the same time, I would
deserve it, man.
No way.
So I'm gonna ask you, who was your biggest win? Like, what fight did you win that you felt the most euphoria after? That you were just your hugest win of your entire career?
Okay, so there's probably 2. And they're both the ones in Bangkok. So I fought Orono, who was really famous at the time. He was up there with Santanoi. Yotzing, not Yotzing, Yotzing was around there. Orono, Satmon Khan, Johnson and all those sort of guys. He had the title. I fought him in 1997. So I had 9 fights. I won my first 9 fights straight, and he was my first A-class fight. And they built it right up. I've just made the front cover of the magazine. I was ranked number 4 at Lumpini. And then Songchai told me before the fight, he said, today if you beat Orono, your next fight's for a Lumpini title. So, oh shit, really? Oh wow, this is crazy, this is huge. So, let's rewind a little bit. So I've won my 9th fight straight. I've just made the front cover of the magazine. Everyone sort of started to know who I was now. And then we're watching the TV. I was sitting with all the Thais. And then we're watching the fights, and then they did the announcement. Okay, so in next month we got a huge show at International Stadium. We have Santanoi, he's going to fight Gang for the title. We've got this guy fighting this guy, this guy fighting this guy. We also have Wayne Parr, John Wayne fighting Orono. And everyone's just stopped and stared at me. And I'm like, what? They're going, you're fighting Orono. And I'm like, also, I've fought 9 fights. I've won my last 9 fights. I don't care. And they, you don't understand. Fighting Orono. I'm like, I just sort of shrugged off. Just another Thai. And they're like, no, you don't understand. You're fighting Orono. So I didn't know Orono was such a killer. I just thought he was just another Thai. And then it wasn't until the fight started that I realised he was the real deal. He was the first Thai that when I got in the clinch, I could hear him growling in my ear. He was like, full on wanted to just kill me. And then round 2, he opened up my eyelid with a couple of elbows. and then round 3 cut me again under my eye, and then the referee stopped the fight. The doctor checked the cut. The cut was too big. The fight got stopped at 3rd round. So it was my first loss. And then year 2000, 3 years later, I fought on the King's birthday. I was supposed to fight. I was supposed to fight another fight anyway. We got to the weigh-in, and then Sancho was like, Masato was supposed to fight Orono. Masato's scared that Orono's got hepatitis, and you're too big for this Thai, so change your plans. You're not fighting that Thai tomorrow. You're going to fight Orono tomorrow instead. I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, no, that sucks. Because at that stage, Orono was the most painful fight I ever had. I was quite scared of him. He scared the shit out of me. And now, on 24 hours' notice, I was going to fight an Orthodox guy, and now I'm fighting a Southpaw. And not only a Southpaw, I'm fighting Orono. And then, so my trainer at the time, same thing, he goes, don't worry, I have a game plan. I'll tell you tomorrow. So, what? You tell me tomorrow? Tell me now. He goes, no. I'll tell you tomorrow.
How'd you sleep that night?
Man. So I didn't sleep very well at all. I shit my pants all night. I was having nightmares, and it's just like, no way I can beat this guy. He's a Southpaw. He cut me out last time. He's a killer. So the next morning comes, and then I wake up all excited. Sangtan, please, what's this game plan? What are we going to do? He goes, all right. So the game plan is, I want you to fight Southpaw against a Southpaw. And then I just stopped and stared at him, just thinking, I was waiting for the laugh or the gotcha. He said, no, I'm so serious. So if you fight Orthodox against a Southpaw and he throws that left elbow, you're going to be wide open. But if you stand Southpaw against a Southpaw, when he throws the elbow, you're going to be able to use that front hand to block. So, yeah, that makes sense. It still sucks, but it makes sense. And then so for the whole rest of the day, getting my hand wraps, getting a massage, I'm just thinking to myself, I can't fight Southpaw. And then on the stage, before walking out there, someone like Kamsing was fighting just before me. I'm watching someone come fight, and I'm like, I can't fight Southpaw. Walking down the runway, I can't fight Southpaw. Crossing the ropes, I'm thinking, fuck it. I'll fight Southpaw for one round. If it doesn't work, I'll go back to Orthodox, but I'll give it a go and see what happens. And then, sure enough, the first round, I start winning. I'm out scoring Orono. He can't land any shots. So I stay Southpaw for 5 rounds and end up beating Orono convincingly. And then in front of 100,000 people live on Thai TV, they raise my hand and they put the new world title around my waist. And it's like, holy shit, this is crazy. So, yeah, and then we get back to the change room, and it's one of those situations where they take the belt off you. And something's like, give the belt a kiss. Like, what for? Oh, they want the belt back. If you want the belt, you have to buy it.
Gotta buy it.
It's like, what? Yeah, so I had to put an order in and put one on, put later.
$12,000.
They still do that. Yeah.
So that was the first story, and then the second one was the S1 at Rajamdam Stadium. I had to fight 3 different people in 2 hours. So I fought a Russian, I fought Skabowski, and then I had to fight Nintigan in the final. And Nintigan had beaten me 3 times in the past before that. So, yeah, I beat the Russian. I knocked out Skabowski in the 3rd. And then the Thai, yeah, he was exhausted. And I just pressure. And then I finally beat this Thai that beat me every time before that. So I won a world title, $1 million baht, and a trophy from the Prime Minister of Thailand, Thaksin at the time, live on Thai TV. And then because it was the biggest prize money ever at the stage, $1 million baht, every single news outlet throughout Thailand was covering the event. So then the next day I went to the news agency, and sure enough, every single paper had my photo in it. Radio would ring up doing interviews with me. Because I could speak Thai pretty fluent back then. Actually, one of the Thai radios, I was talking to him, congratulations, thank you so much, this is such a big honor, blah, blah, blah. And then I put the phone back on to Sangtan, and Sangtan was doing the interview. And then I could see the frustration in Sangtan's face, and just to hear the tone that they were talking. And after I hung up, I said, what happened? They said, they were really angry at me. They said, how can you train a Westerner to beat us at our own sport and take $1 million baht out of our economy into another country? He's like, well, what am I supposed to do? He's like a little brother to me. He's been training me for the last 5 years. How can I not train him? Of course I want him to win. He's like my little bro. So those two moments were just unbelievable. To win a world titles in Thailand and get tuk-tuk drivers and taxi drivers stopping on the side of the street and asking a Westerner for a photo because you beat them at their own sport is the most craziest feeling you could ever imagine. It's just it still blows my mind. It's still so cool.
So it's back to Pattaya then. Back to Pattaya to be a foreigner for a week, right?
Yeah.
After that.
The old days.
But man, awesome. I mean, we could go on forever.
Yeah, this could be a 4-hour podcast.
Yeah, I don't want to keep taking up all
What
your
did you
time.
touch on the Contender series, Yachts and Clyde? I mean, at least tell us about your gym a little bit. Plug your gym.
The gym. Yeah, so I've got a gym here on the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast is like, it's like the Phuket of Australia. Everyone just comes here to holiday. We have all the theme parks. We have the beaches, the golden beaches, and it's warm all year round. So our winter is still 25 degrees during the day. It gets a little bit chilly at night time, but the rest of the day is still like summer anywhere else in the world. My gym's 10 minutes from the beach, so every morning I'm running along the beach. Some mornings you'll see dolphins jumping in and out of the water, or whales reaching out of the water as you're running. Muay Thai is really big down here as well. There's probably a fight promotion nearly every weekend without fail. Sometimes Friday, Saturday, sometimes Saturday, Sunday. So we have a really strong Muay Thai community around my area, around in Queensland. It's really cool. It's easy to keep the boys busy, and the girls busy. It's fun. We used to have the magazine, and we used to have fights once a week on Fox Sports here in Australia. But because the UFC is so crazy now, they've stopped showing the Muay Thai now, which was a bit of a bummer. But when it was big, it was really cool. A lot of the fighters are household names because everyone watched the fights every week. Since that stopped, it's sort of dropped down a little bit. But it's still cool. The gym's still busy. Everyone loves fighting. And then with MMA too, Muay Thai complements MMA as well. So in that respect, it's still keeping people coming through and keeping a way of keeping fit and looking good and learning the art of self-defense as well.
Yeah, I've been coming to Thailand for 19 years, and I feel like I owe Muay Thai the biggest credit to my style and the wins that I did get, and I guess whatever successes I made and money I made, because the Muay Thai knockouts that I got, using Muay Thai tactics and striking, that's what people want to see. That's that flashy stuff that makes you the money and pays your bills, not necessarily the boring fighting and the whatever else. So Muay Thai is such a big aspect of MMA, But moving forward here with go ahead, sorry.
Just with it's once you get to Thailand and see it as a national sport, and the TV coverage and the magazines and the newspaper that comes out every day, that you realise how big the sport could be in other countries. It just needs that TV time to build the stars, just like UFC and MMA, just so people can invest in other fighters' personalities instead of just seeing fighter A versus fighter B and just watching two people that are known going at it. For sure, the fights are exciting, but once you know their personalities, you feel invested. You want to cheer Johnny, or you want to cheer such and such because you know that he's struggling, or you know that you got your good guys and your bad guys, and then it's fun to watch the sport more.
Yeah.
It's just lacking that little bit of profile. But once you get that, I think that the sport will explode.
So two more quick things real fast.
Some big investors.
Sorry, two more things quick, real fast before we let you go. What is your advice for fighters coming here to train in Muay Thai? Like, what would your advice be for people that see this or that aspire to train in Thailand and want to be a Muay Thai fighter before they come? What would you say to those individuals?
Do it. If you're thinking about it, don't worry about your age. Don't worry about your body type. Just come and experience it, and then I guarantee you'll be back.
Yeah,
because it's so hard to go home once you get into that rhythm of waking up, training, having something to eat, chilling out, training again. You exercising your mind, the body, the spirit, everything feels perfect.
Yeah.
It's what we're supposed to do, I believe. We put so much pressure on ourselves to be successful in business and everything else, but if you take things back a little bit and just exercise, eat healthy, and train, all of a sudden all your worries go away.
Yeah.
every day you're improving that little bit more than you were yesterday, and you just feel happy inside. You just feel healthy and happy, and you have a purpose. So definitely, if you get the opportunity, do it, because it's you won't regret it. It'll change your life.
Awesome. And lastly, looking forward again to your Bellator contract and your Bellator fights. Is there any one person in particular that you really want to fight now in your career? Like any names, or are you just ready for whoever Bellator puts in front of you, and you just want to get that 100th win and do what you want to do?
At this stage, I just want to fight. Just want to be successful. Just fight, win, hopefully by knockouts.
Yeah.
Get a few more highlight reel KOs. Just put some money aside, invest. I want to try and pay my house off. To say that I bought my house through my fight money is something that's been on my wish list since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be one of those guys that had all these fights and then pissed it all up against the wall and had nothing to show for the end of it. So I bought my house, I bought my gym. I've got 3 kids that I'm bringing up, and I just want to show them that no matter how hard and how determined you can be successful if you work hard for it. So hopefully I can be a good role model for my family and for other people in the sport to want to achieve greatness.
Well, Matt, I loved your fights. You're obviously extremely humble, and I think a great role model and inspiration to so many people. We really appreciate you being on the podcast. And obviously, we open invitation anytime you want to come to AKA Thailand and check out the gym and train and
come
just
back
say
on
hi.
Here.
And
so much we didn't cover.
Yeah, and come back on the podcast, whatever. Man, you're definitely welcome to come out and hang out with us, and we'll take care of you and cover everything. So.
I see that new basketball court you've set up as well.
Yeah,
so,
we were playing today. We were playing today, and then we had Anastasia training, and then we rushed here to get the podcast done. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man. So we're building more. We're building another Muay Thai area right now, or coming up soon, and then a water view, like an ocean view stair tower. So we're still trying to add on more to it. So it'd be great if you come, and you're always welcome, man, to the podcast, to the gym, whatever you need, man. You've been an inspiration for me. I've always looked up to you, and it's just an honor to have you on the show, man, really.
No, thank you. I remember when Marc was training there, because Marc's he's an inspirational fighter, but he's also a friend. So I remember we were training at your camp, and I said, oh, man, that camp looks so crazy. And then, like you said, after we met, we've been keeping an eye on each other through social media and seeing how successful you are. When Daniel White dropping into your gym and saying hello and staying there, and then now the basketball court's finished, ready to rock. So yeah, it's really cool. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much, man.
Being successful in Thailand is a tough gig, but you've done it. So yeah,
I'm trying. I'm trying. It's a work in progress, but I'm trying.
Yeah, no, you're doing well. You're killing it. So, and then, like you said, you're going to build more extensions. So obviously, everything's going in the right direction. So, yeah, that's awesome.
Well, thank you, man.
Keep doing what you're doing, because you seem to be doing it very well.
Thank you. And you've been doing it well for many, many years, and so enjoy watching you fight, man. I'm really looking forward to your next fight, and we will either be at your fight or we will watch it 100%, man. And we're always rooting for you. So I can't wait to see you raise that hand for the 100th time and put that shirt on. And I'm going to be messaging you. So. Thanks again for being on the podcast, man. I don't want to take up more of your time, but one quick question. Does the bear have a significance that you want to mention? Because I know you're sitting next to this huge bear, and I don't want to not say anything and it have some significance or something. Because I like him.
I was gonna pretend it was a koala bear, but he didn't have qualifications to be a koala.
Oh, there we go. Nice one. There we go.
Wow, that was unbearable. Seriously.
Yeah.
And you're because I just follow you just because.
He can beat you with his bare hands.
He's got him ready, doesn't he? So your name on Instagram, guys, I just follow you, so I don't look at your name, obviously. But it's John Wayne Parr. It's just your Instagram account.
Just John Wayne Parr.
So please follow John Wayne Parr, guys. He's quirky.
It's either fights or really bad jokes.
No, he's got a great Instagram, man. I look forward to it every day. It always makes me smile.
You just made me start to want to follow you.
Yeah.
2 things, though, just real quick. When you do come here, I'm undefeated in basketball against Australians, just so you know.
Yeah.
He hasn't played any. Go ahead.
And I would love to karaoke some Thai music with you.
Oh,
we'll do a karaoke.
It's been a while. I don't know what the latest hits are now, but
you think I do? Come on, man.
If we go back in time to the Loso stuff and Carabao, there's a good chance.
Hey, I'm 38. I can go old school.
Yeah. So yeah, very cool. So
man, thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you so much.
We'll keep my sexy white boy Skype name just under the
We won't say anything. I haven't said nothing, man.
Yeah, you brought that up.
All right, brother. Thank you so much, man. I'll stay in touch with you. And much respect. And Kaplan Cap. And we'll see you next time. And thanks for being on the podcast.
Hey, thank you guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
What's up, everybody? I am here in Thailand. This is the first time I've ever been here. Been dying to come here for years. The great Mike Swick. He's one of the big reasons he's been trying to pull me down here. What he built down here, AKA Thailand, is incredible. There's people here from all over the world. You can train mixed martial arts here, jiu-jitsu. They have weightlifting, they have cardio, and obviously they have Muay Thai, boxing, everything. I'm telling you guys, I know everybody wants to go to Thailand because Thailand's so cool, but you can't come to Thailand without coming to AKA Thailand. Come on.